You're listening to Bad Girlfriend Radio. I'm your host, Bree Schmidt. I'm a relationship coach and educator offering advice and insight that is no shame, no sugarcoat, and no BS. Today I have a quick episode for you all about your mindset and how it might be the thing holding you back in relationships and in life in general. I'm going to give you some simple and rational advice on shifting your mindset that you can start using now to start getting what you want. And make sure to keep listening until the very end for a special announcement. First, before we get started in today's topic, I want to make sure that you've already signed up for freebies, including free worksheets, quizzes, and other online resources, plus updates and future discounts on coaching and more. If you haven't already signed up, make sure to go to breeschmidt.com/sign up, and you'll get instant access to the full digital resource library. Here you can take quizzes like, what's your attachment style, or how assertive are you? Or you can download guides and worksheets like the Guide to Navigating Your Next Big Relationship Fight, a worksheet to help you plan your future, and more. And it's all free. So again, make sure to sign up at breeschmidt.com/sign up. Now let's get back to today's topic. All right, so today's episode is pretty quick because what I wanted to talk about is actually really simple. So as someone who talks a lot about relationships and, as a relationship coach, I talk to women a lot about what they really want. What kind of relationship do they want? Do they want something casual or committed? Or what kind of person do they want to spend their time with? What kind of future do they envision? And we talk about the actions right now that they can start to take to get closer to that vision. But quite often, I see women who aren't actually so sure what they want. And I mean, that's okay. It's okay to let things unfold organically over time and to not rush things and to not commit to one particular goal or vision if you're not even really sure what that is. I mean, that is completely okay. But what I also see a lot of are people saying that they don't know what they want because they're just not owning their own vision. Like they had a vision, but it got lost. They had goals and dreams, but they got lost. Sometimes we block ourselves from accessing those dreams and visions and goals because we're afraid of being disappointed. And here's where mindset comes in and just kind of F's everything up. So actually, I'm just going to pause there for a second and talk about myself a little bit and how I grew up. So I grew up in a pretty average suburban environment in the U.S. My surroundings were more or less average, but within the walls of the homes that I lived in, there was a lot of trauma. I've never really gotten too into the details in this podcast, and I'm not sure that I ever will, but let's just say that I didn't have a single example of what a healthy relationship really was in anyone close to me. I witnessed and experienced a lot of really toxic, abusive, destructive behaviors, and I could have went on to repeat what I experienced growing up in my life as an adult. I could have become exactly like the people who I watched, who had really toxic and unhealthy and destructive behaviors. Instead, from a really young age, actually, I read books, I journaled, I went to therapy. I literally researched how to have a healthy relationship and how to be a healthier person and take care of my own mental health. I trained to help others dealing with their own relationship and life struggles. I literally chose my university major based on what I could relate to when it came to not knowing how to navigate relationships, right? I've talked a bit before about how I decided to major in sexuality studies, so I focused a lot on not only sexuality, but actually relationships in general and gender issues. And I became a coach and educator for myself, because that's what I so desperately needed growing up. And by the way, I didn't just struggle as a kid or a teenager. This is a lifelong process of healing and learning that it is possible to have a fulfilling, balanced life now, even though I started out having no idea how to make that happen when I was younger. So coming from that environment, I had a lot of beliefs subconsciously and a lot of thought patterns that basically my brain had created to deal with these high stress situations. But in creating a better life and better relationships that aren't as toxic as the relationships I grew up seeing and knowing, these beliefs and thoughts don't really help me anymore. And that's one point that I want you to consider. Consider, is your mindset based in a time of struggle and trauma and stress? Are you carrying thoughts and beliefs that were created to serve you during a difficult time, or in a time of success and happiness and fulfillment? Going back to what I was saying before about abandoning dreams and goals, I often see people who say that they don't know what they want from relationships or even life in general. And usually it's because their mindset doesn't support those dreams and goals. If I say to them like, hey, tomorrow you're going to meet a really great partner, someone who'd be really great for you for your future, like they're perfect for you, and they're just going to come knocking at your door. When I say this, you'd probably think that I'm insane, right? You'd be super suspicious, or you would just, entirely like not listen to me. You would not believe me at all. But imagine if I truly meant it, that tomorrow you'll meet someone great, or that maybe if you're already in a relationship, then your biggest problem that you have right now with your partner will be gone. What would you think? You might have some positive thoughts at first, but then maybe a few days later, you might start to feel suspicious again, right? Like, oh, this is too good to be true. Or you'll find something that you decide you don't like about that person who came knocking at your door, or whatever it might be. But chances are, basically, things will fall apart again anyway. Why? Because your mind isn't ready for anything better. Your thoughts aren't allowing anything better. Maybe you grew up in a really toxic environment like I did. So now you carry around all of these heavy beliefs that are there to protect you, but then you never allow yourself to have those dreams or visions anymore because you're too busy just trying to protect yourself. And when people say that they don't know what they want, like I said, it's okay if you're truly just feeling things out, trying new things to see what you prefer. That's fine. Take your time. But there are a lot of people out there that do know what they want, but they don't allow themselves to even consider it because it feels too out of reach and too different from what they've had in the past. So you might have a dream or a vision or a goal that feels really unattainable and unrealistic. And the good news is that often this isn't actually because it's unattainable or unrealistic. It's because your current thought patterns and beliefs are not compatible with this dream. I want to say that one more time because it's important. If your dream seems really unattainable and you keep talking yourself out of it, it's because your current thought patterns and beliefs are not compatible with this dream. So you have the dream versus your mindset. And if they're not compatible, you have to change one. Which one do you think most people change then? The dream or the mindset? They change the dream. They abandon the dream or the goal or the vision that they had for their life and for their relationships. They change the goal to make it smaller, something easier to settle for, maybe something more familiar. Because this is easier than changing your mindset. Especially when the thoughts and beliefs that are part of your mindset have been habitual since you were growing up or since you had some kind of traumatic event. It's really hard to change your mindset. So if you change the dream or the goal, then, well, you don't really have to grow. You don't have to change your mindset. You don't have to challenge your thoughts. You don't really have to try to be better. You can just settle. So the alternative is to change your mindset. Find the limiting beliefs holding you back. Question the thoughts and judgments that have come up again and again. And just for once, don't listen to them. Don't buy into them. Look at them with curiosity and then let go of the ones that aren't helping you anymore. Get rid of the beliefs that you developed when you were in a stressful, difficult time and replace them with ones that are designed to help you thrive. If you keep believing the beliefs you created during a time of struggle, you will keep struggling. If you want some examples of what I mean, then let's consider in relationships. Maybe you want a committed relationship. You do actually want to get married and have a family and, have a partner there to work with you as your friend, as your teammate. That's the dream. That's the vision. But your mindset is stuck believing, I can't trust anyone. I'm better off alone. I'll just be let down again. No one will love me like I want to be loved. Relationships are too much work. These thoughts aren't compatible with the dream. But you can change those thoughts. Like I said, it's easier to just give up on the dream. Changing the mindset is hard. So if you do decide to not give up on the dream and go for it, then there might be a period of feeling a bit insecure and unsure, and that's just your mindset trying to catch up to you. That's your thoughts being challenged and being tested. So that period is hard, but that's okay. It does get better, I promise, because I've been there, I know. Another example could be if you're already in a relationship and your dream or goal is to fight less. Like right now you're arguing all the time, but you can imagine what it might be like if you got along and you didn't have so much conflict. But the thoughts that you're having are, this is hopeless. If I stop standing up for myself, then they'll just take advantage of me. I'll be powerless. I'll be weak. Now, as long as generally the relationship is healthy, then these thoughts are irrational and they are likely igniting conflict where it isn't necessary and where it isn't productive, right? You could give up on the dream and just break up, or you could look at how your mindset is holding back progress in your relationship. So consider, what do you want? What do you want in relationships? What do you want tomorrow or next month or next year? What is that dream or vision or goal, whatever word you prefer to use? What is it? And is your mindset compatible with that? If not, which do you want to change? The dream or the mindset? If you want to change the mindset, I know it's not easy and it doesn't happen overnight. But if you do want to fast track your progress, I offer coaching that will help you to identify the thought patterns that are holding you back. And listen up, this is really exciting for me to announce. From today, when this podcast goes live in July of 2020, and for a limited time, you can get your first session with me half off. And that's not even all. You can get this discounted session for half off, and half of your payment will be donated to Futures Without Violence. Futures Without Violence works to end domestic and sexual violence through educating and working with children and at-risk communities, coaching and rehabilitating boys and men who have used violence or who have been survivors of violence. They initiate acts that highlight issues surrounding violence against women. I mean, the list goes on. And I love that they draw attention to Black Lives Matter and intersectionality and gendered violence in the U.S. and worldwide. So I'm very happy to donate half of your payment to this organization. So you can get to work on yourself and your future, and you're also helping others, especially other women, to have better, safer futures too. To sign up, just go to brieschmidt.com/first session. So that is spelled out, BrieSchmidt.com/FIRSTSESSION, first session. And another great thing is that you can pay what you want for this coaching session. So the minimum amount is half off of the regular price for a single session, but you can actually pay as much as you want over that. And then no matter what your payment is, half of that payment received will be donated to Futures Without Violence. And this is for first-time clients only. So if this is your first time working with me, then this offer is for you for a limited time. You'll get one-on-one coaching in a live video call, and in that session, we'll break down your goals and where you're getting stuck. I use cognitive behavioral coaching strategies to target the thought patterns that it is time to let go of, and we'll discuss what action steps to take next to get closer to that dream and vision that you have for yourself and your future. And single sessions are also a great chance to ask any questions you have about relationships in general and get some support and guidance where you need it. So if you want more information and to sign up for your half off one-on-one coaching session and have 50% of your payment going to support Futures Without Violence, go to BrieSchmidt.com/first session. You will not be locked into any future sessions, so this is a great chance to just try out coaching at a discounted rate if you haven't yet before. And I'm looking forward to meeting more of you over in those video calls. That's all I've got for this episode. Thanks for listening as always. Until next time.